Hi, here's my experience installing the ThermalPad mod on my M4 MacBook Air. I used a 1.2mm pentalobe screwdriver, a guitar pick, a sheet of 1mm thick thermal padding, a marker, and some scissors. I'm starting with completely shutting down the MacBook. Not strictly necessary, but definitely a best practice for safety. Using that screwdriver, I'll unscrew the four small pentalobe screws on the bottom of the MacBook. For this mod, these are the only screws that have to be removed as part of the disassembly. I started at one corner and worked my way around the MacBook. I bought the cheapest screwdriver I could find as I'll probably only use it once, so it was not as smooth as a fit as I would have hoped for, but with a bit of downward pressure while rotating the handle, I could get them to release. As I'm focusing the camera on the four screws as I remove them, you'll see the front two screws have a tiny bit more thread than the back two screws. Make sure to remember which screws are which for when we put them back later. With the screws out, I can wedge a guitar pick into the hinge side of the backplate. Using this trick, there's no need for the suction cup people typically use to access the clips in the next step. Sliding the guitar pick around the edge of a MacBook, I can access the four clips that have to be undone. I needed to apply quite a lot of lateral pressure to get them to release. It can sound a bit violent when they do, but this is normal apparently. At one point, I was even worried that the guitar pick would break. Just try to keep applying increasing pressure until you hear the clicks. When the clips are undone, I can slide the backplate off of another four screw-like pins holding it onto the chassis. I haven't seen someone show the clips under the backplate up close, and as a result I found it difficult to visualize what I'm doing while prying them open. So here they are, and the piece on the chassis they clip into. The chip on the logic board is in this zone, so I will apply the thermal padding over it and onto the rest of the logic board area. Carefully with a marker and the thermal pad, I measure the dimensions I need for this part of the application zone. These dimensions don't have to be that precise. For the first cut, I will cut the entire pad roughly in half. I move the MacBook a bit to the side and cut on the rough line. Doing the cutting away from the laptop makes sure that if I were to drop the scissors, it wouldn't be on the battery, which can maybe pierce it and be a big problem. Following the same procedure as the first measure and cut, I'll measure and cut the rest of the thermal pad to fill the chip and logic board zone. I'm purposefully leaving the zone where the ribbon cable is uncovered as I'm not sure how this much heat would affect it over time. A 10 by 10 centimeter thermal pad seems to be the perfect size for this mod as it covers the chip and the logic board almost perfectly. I used a 1mm thickness as that was the most recommended and has worked for me as well. Now I have all the pieces measured and cut and ready for application. Peeling away the plastic, I expected a sticky surface, but there doesn't seem to be any glue. This is good as we can remove the thermal pad again later if need be, and it stays where it should go well enough without it. I lay it down carefully onto the logic board and chip zone. Using a piece of cloth, I apply some pressure to make sure there are no air gaps behind the thermal pad. You can do this with just your finger as well. Applying the rest of the pieces is done in the same manner, unpeeling one side of the plastic and carefully laying the pad down onto the application zone. Once again, I'm cautious around the ribbon cable as it does move around and I don't want to damage it. With all the pieces in place, I peel the other plastic side off of the pads to expose the surface that will touch the back plate of the MacBook. Doing this causes some of them to lift up a bit due to the lack of glue, so make sure they stay in the place you put them. Now I can start with the reassembly. I found sliding the backplate back onto the four pins challenging. None of the recommended maneuvers worked for me, and it seemed like it just would not go back on. The only thing that eventually worked for me was slightly rotating the backplate side to side while carefully applying a lot of forward pressure, more than what felt comfortable to be honest. With the backplate back on, I can engage the clips by applying some downward pressure. Using the correct top and bottom screws, I put them back into place until they feel tight enough to keep the backplate secure. After this, the MacBook will be fully assembled again and ready for operation. A quick tapping sound test will reveal any loose screws. They all sound secure. Now I can flip the MacBook around again, power on, and enjoy a little bit less thermal throttling while making sure to be careful of a warmer backplate when using it on my lap.